141 is the topic du jour. And I think this is interesting because I think the number one guy is going to be taking an good old Olympic red shirt, Andrew Alirez. That's my thing. So I think that opens it up for real Woods.
Wait,
but
is that locked in?
I don't think it's locked in, but I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
So should we do it with Alirez in or out?
I mean, if you're confident, then take him out.
I think he'd be tier 1. What do you think?
You think? You think?
I mean, I don't think he's tier 1 island though, so I think
You don't? Yeah.
No,
sure.
I do not.
No, I don't either.
Ooh.
But okay. All right, let's do it with him in there.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's not gonna really change much. So we'll do it as if Alirez is in, even though I don't think he's gonna be. I think Alirez, Woods, then a gap.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're in
I
agreement.
don't disagree with that at all.
I-
Bartlett, I mean, at number 3, he made a huge jump towards the end of the year, and I think kind of cemented himself in that position. But if you told me Bo lost to Hardy or Mendez, I'm not shocked.
I'm with you. I could see Bo. Honestly, I could see Bo, Lachlan, Hardy, Mendez. So maybe in my mind, that's the tier 2. I could see those guys picking off one of the tier 1 guys at some point. It would not. Maybe it would shock me. I feel like those guys are pretty close. I mean,
Man,
Brock Hardy gave Real Woods a really, really tough match last year.
Wait, Brock Hardy's good.
Right.
Big time.
that's the in-depth analysis.
You and me, Ben, we see things similarly. So yeah, Lachlan McNeil, he came on like no other last year. Like his NCAAs was incredible. Bo Bartlett did what we kind of thought he could do, and is getting better. So could he jump into that? And I don't know. That's what's giving me a little bit of pause. Real and Alirez were so good last year, and only lost. The Real's only loss was to Andrew, and Andrew was undefeated. So I don't know.
Kaposta feels too high to me. He wrestled almost no match. So he All-American 2 years ago, but he wrestled almost no matches last year. Wrestled, I think, 3 matches.
Yeah, he wasn't enrolled.
So why does he get to go over Cole Matthews? Because Cole Matthews obviously is someone who's
that's a great
he was
question.
It's not who's number 1 for college. What do you guys call it for college again?
The All-Star Classic.
The All-Star Classic. He was at the All-Star Classic last year, right? I mean, this is a guy who was super, super high, and I know he maybe had a disappointing where he lost tiebreaker to Dylan D'Amelio and Bo Bartlett. So I'm gonna tell your rankers, move that dude up.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm moving him. I think Carlson. Where do we feel like he fits? Because to me,
yes,
I feel like a good tier 2 is Bo Bartlett, Lachlan McNeil, Brock Hardy, Jesse Mendez, Cole Matthews. That feels like the group to me.
Yeah. Clay Carlson, I feel like he was kind of a little bit up and down last year. He ended up on an up note where he All-American. So he beat Brock Hardy got injured in that last match. But he definitely had some maybe not so. He lost to Carter Young, Moshe Schwartz. Yeah, he kind of has.
He got beat badly by Bartlett. Yeah. So I think he's probably back there. Let's look at Cole Matthews' band.
Yeah, Cole Matthews only 3 losses last year, and 2 of which were at Nationals and tiebreakers. So he had the one Jordan Titus upset, which that was what took him out of number 1. So he's got to be in tier 2.
He's
and honestly, Cole Matthews is not an easy match for Woods or Alirez, I don't think.
Not at all.
He's also the man.
He is.
From any brothers.
Everyone loves Cole Matthews. When we visited him last year, everyone's like, dude, Cole is the coolest dude. And then you got to go, and he's the man. And that alone puts him in tier 2. So,
I think he's a clear tier 2 guy.
So would you disagree with my tier 2 of Bo Bartlett, Lachlan McNeil, Brock Hardy, Jesse Mendez, Cole Matthews, and nobody else?
Yeah, I don't hate putting Clay Carlson in there. He did take 5th place last year. But he was up and down. So, tough one. I could see putting Carlson in there, and I could also definitely see the argument against him. Now, I'm looking at Ryan Jack now. Ryan Jack probably he was 1 and 2 at NCAAs. Yeah, he's definitely out of tier 2. We'll say he did have a couple wins over Lachlan McNeil though. I mean, Lachlan McNeil's the one that he came on really strong at NCAAs, but kind of had a ton of losses before then. So he lost to Ryan Jack a couple times, Cole Matthews, Bo Bartlett.
Man, I'm looking at this.
Tom Crook. Man, he had Colin Girardi. He had a lot of losses.
You're right. Now I'm like, should we be expanding this, or is there like a smaller tier 2 and a bigger tier 3?
Yeah,
because I feel like Vince Cornell is like super good,
and these guys are making it hard, right? Because McNeil had not that great of a season, and then has a great NCAA, whereas Cole Matthews has a better season, bad NCAAs. You'd say the same thing with Ryan Jack, right? Because he had the 2 wins over Lachlan McNeil, but then had not a very good NCAAs. Yeah, it makes it really tough to kind of separate them.
And
Caposto's super weird to me because he was All-American 2 years ago, but he was an All-American. He had a not so great year, came on at the NCAAs, had a good NCAA tournament, but then didn't really wrestle at all last year.
He beat Alirez.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. I know, this is tough, right?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
And Jesse, and also let's say this.
I kind of want to add Ryan Jack into that tier 2. He did have a really good year.
Yeah, he did.
It feels like to me there's still separation in the fact that I could maybe see a Cole Matthews or a Mendez beating a Woods or a Lirez like during the regular season or postseason for that matter. But I feel much less likely to pick a Carlson or a Composto or a Jack to get that win. They're very good. They could beat those tier 2 guys, but I don't see them beating the tier 1 guys yet. And that's where there's separation between tier 2 and tier 3. We've got, I think, Bartlett, McNeil, Hardy, Mendez, Matthews, tier 2.
Let's talk about Mendez momentarily. Hold on.
Mendez was going to redshirt also.
It's up in the air. I think he's going to go. I think Coach Ryan was like, we want to wrestle our best lineup.
Yep, I talked to him about it last week when I was there, and he said, that's a decision we have yet to make. We're in talks with it. Jesse has Olympic aspirations, but he's like, I want to put our best team out there, and obviously our best team includes Jesse Mendez, but that's still.
And another thing is, it sounds like, and I didn't realize this until I was listening to the interviews, but Dylan D'Amelio, way too big for 41 apparently, which I did not realize. I thought he looked pretty normal size to me.
Because he was 33 at one point, Jordan Decatur transferred, I believe, correct? To Kent State, maybe?
Kent State.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's not on the roster either.
Correct. So not a lot of options outside of Jesse at 141.
Yeah.
So you would think that they'll use him. I think typically the coaches, get their way in these scenarios, and I don't know how. Jesse was a guy that really wanted to wrestle last year too, so I'm sure he's going to be excited to compete. But yeah, it's interesting.
They don't really have any other great options at 41. The Brandon Cannon kid, who's a freshman, I don't know how he would do at the Division I level. But yeah, I mean, so there's not someone real obvious. Like if you had a Jordan Decatur, you could say, hey, Jesse, we feel comfortable sitting on the bench because Decatur is going to be a solid guy here. But without him there, I don't know who you're going to throw in there.
And we might be jumping the gun a bit, saying Mendez tier 2.
That's what I'm saying.
He had a rocky season last year. He took his fair share of losses, but I think we all agree the potential is there for Jesse. We see it.
Potential indeed.
Well, by the end of the year though, he was really competitive with a lot of the better guys. He ended up All-American. He had
he only lost to Beast.
What?
He only lost to All-Americans, other than Magnuson.
Well, the Nagao loss was crazy, right?
Very.
And Yeah, and he did show some like I feel like mat wrestling weakness a little bit in a few of the matches.
He got it together at NCAAs. He won in tiebreakers in 3 straight matches on the backside.
Oh my god, I forgot that. Yeah, that was wild. But yeah, I mean his losses: Nagao, McGee, Ragusan, Cannon, Nagao, Aruja, RBY. I mean that's his last losses. Those are all really, really good guys.
Compare that to, let's look at Clay Carlson's losses. Bo,
not as good.
Carter, Young, that's not great. Moshe Schwartz, Alirez, Ty Smith. Okay, there's a little separation here. Brock Hardy, Cale Happel. Okay, Cale Happel. Vance Von Bar.
Vince McMahon.
Vance
Refrigeration. That was what I almost feel like when you read a thing like that, it's like, was he like cutting weight or was there injury issues? Because
no, I know what it was. Like he had some crazy. I talked with Coach Hahn about this. He had some crazy like academic thing he was doing. He was like basically working all day, going to school, training, like total time crunch in that first semester, and then it went away in the second semester. Whatever the thing he had to do, and then we saw his consistency return.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really all over the place on this tier.
I know, right?
In my mind,
I'll go mine. So we got Lears Woods tier 1. I'm gonna make it a little bigger tier 2 because I think there's a lot of people within striking distance. So we'll go Bartlett, McNeil, Hardy, Mendez, Carlson, Matthews, and Jack. I'll put those guys both in there. Composto is out, and he could obviously be back in. He just didn't compete a lot last year, and his year 2 years ago was kind of up and down. So then it's, Caposto, Cornello, Hines, Schwartz, Edmond, kind of the rest of these dudes probably, honestly, in tier 3.
I feel like, hit me on this.
If you include in Jack, I think you got to include Cornello.
I feel like Bo Bartlett's season last year is actually totally separated from the field. Apart from Woods and Alirez, if you look at it. He lost to Woods, Alirez, and one time to Brock Hardy. Other than that, no one else had that level of consistency that he did.
Well, group. Let me ask you this.
Inquire.
Brock Hardy and Bo Bartlett wrestle a match. How comfortable, what are you putting the odds at of Bo Bartlett winning? Because I think, I don't want to say it's a coin flip. I'll say it's slight advantage Bo, but that's a really close competitive match.
Yeah. I think Bo's in plenty of close competitive matches, but he wins them. And my comfort level, I don't know, autumn morning in a Snuggie. So pretty comfortable.
What does that even mean?
You don't know what autumn's fall, and Snuggie is like a giant blanket sweatshirt. You don't know what a Snuggie is?
You're showing your age here, Piles. I don't wear Snuggies. I'm a man.
I don't wear Snuggies either.
You Snuggie wearing son of a gun.
Oh, you know what? I do have a funny Snuggie story now that you mention it.
You do wear Snuggies.
Let's get Snuggly. I don't have a Snuggie, but I did have a Snuggie. Well, we ordered them sort of like as a joke, and then they never came. And so my wife called them. We're like, "Hey, they never came." Then we got like a Snuggie a week for like. We ended up with like 10 Snuggies. They just kept sending them.
Right,
they just kept sending Snuggies. We were giving them out.
Like a malfunction on their website or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Corporate Snuggie was, kind of a disaster. That's kind of why I think they're no more. But anyway, that's my comfort level.
Wow.
So I feel like he's separated. The more I look at it, the more I think about it. To your point,
yes. I don't think so. I disagree. I don't think he's that separated but this is why it's a mess. I don't think he's that separated from Brock Hardy. So honestly, if you said, Ben, rate these guys, I would go Bartlett, Hardy's. That's a great restaurant.
Arby's, Carl's
Matthews.
Jr.
That's like, in my mind, that's how they go in that order. And then after that, I'd probably go Mendez, McNeil, Carlson. Kind of, if you're saying, Ben, go one by one, how do you think of these people? That's how I would do it.
So you are, and I don't know if it's wrong, but you're looking at it based on like how you think the matches would go. And I'm looking at it.
I'm saying like best.
My goodness.
I think is the best. If they go in a tournament format, where is it most likely that these guys end up? I know we didn't say tournament. I know they didn't end up in that order, but obviously Cole Matthews 2 years ago he ended up way higher, right? So, There's
Okay, so
variability in this group.
The point I will once again attempt to make is that if you look at Bo's season and you look at Lachlan, Hardy, Mendez, Matthews, on and on and on, those guys have wild losses. And lots of
who's
and
Hardy's most wild loss? It's probably the
Drogamiller,
right?
He lost to Drogamiller.
Ooh, that was a bad one.
He lost
to late or something. Too much weight.
Nebraska.
But this man won 1, 2, 3, 4.
It happened.
He won like 20 in a row here.
He lost to Drogamiller. He lost to Ryan Jack. He lost to Isagera.
Iasgiri. Yeah.
Iasgiri. Ias Gaston Gary. And
he's got 3 Woods losses.
Yeah. Bo has 0. Lachlan's got losses.
Bo's got 0 what?
Bo has 0 questionable losses. He lost to national champion, national finalist, and Brock Hardy. Far more consistent year.
I don't know. I don't see that much difference between Brock Hardy and
you don't see a difference. A guy lost to Emilio Isagiri right before
No, I'm saying, you're saying, yes, I got it. He had a few bad losses. But, again, I'm going to make Bo a small favorite, but I'm not saying Bo's a 2-1 favorite. If I made Bo a 2-1 favorite, you're probably not going to bet on him.
Of course not. Is that the...
So, I mean, there's just
how many
not
guys
that
are
much
2-1 favorites?
They're also viewing tiers different. Christian is viewing it as consistency, and Ben is more, or like losses, lower floor. Ben is thinking more about the ceiling.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about where they're more likely to fall. Where they're more likely to fall in the year.
Okay,
but
the other thing here, Christian, that you're totally neglecting here, is that prior to the Big Ten championships, Bo Bartlett didn't really wrestle anyone. Here's his whole ledger before. The only people above a 40th rank are Malik Hines, McNeil, Matten, Woods, and D'Amelio. He only had 5 top 40 matches.
Okay, well, McNeil got like 4th at NCAAs, so that's pretty good.
Who? McNeil. Yes, there's a few. There's a couple. But obviously, if you're not wrestling that many hard opponents, there's a less likelihood of you being in an upset scenario.
I don't think he missed a match.
He was in overtime with David Evans. I don't even know who David Evans is.
Well, read a book. He wrestles for the best team in the country.
He wrestles with Penn State?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a teammate match.
Okay. So you can do whatever you want. This is we do not have to come to a conclusion as a group, right? I give my tiers. I gave my tiers. Now you can give yours.
Now you're shedding tears because once again,
I'm not shedding tears.
Ben sleeps on Bo Bartlett as the show.
No,
he's
in my tier 2. He's in your tier 2. What's the problem here?
I have him separated from the rest.
You're doing tier 2 Island?
You think he's just one of the guys? I don't.
So you're doing tier 2 Island by himself?
He is an island, which I think is fitting.
Wow.
I'm not going.
I think he separated himself from these all those guys.
Island.
He literally lost to Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look at who Hardy lost to. If you want to play
I know.
Look at all their losses. For all these guys have tons of losses, and all of them have like one WTF loss, like borderline Google loss. Bo does not have that. That's separate. Has a quality all its own.
I agree.
No, you don't.
But I just don't think it is enough to separate him from a pack that could potentially beat him.
I mean, listen, Cole Matthews.
That's what tiers about is could they potentially beat them?
Cole Matthews should be in your tier 1 because he could potentially beat Andrew Alira or Real Woods because he literally did.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah, you guys see. That's the thing. It cannot be. Could they beat this person? That can't be in college wrestling. That can't be a thing if we're trying to really do this because. Not to be Shane Sparks, but CJ Composto literally beat Andrew Alira the last season he did. Cole Matthews literally beat Real Woods.
All right, stop whining. Make your tiers already.
I am and I have and I will.
No, all you told us is your tier 1 and your tier 2 Island. You've not told us anything else.
Okay. Here's what I'll say: Aliras and Woods are tier 1.
That we all agree.
Bo Bartlett is closer to tier 1. Than to tier 3. So he's on an island.
Make him stop stalling.
I'm not. I'm explaining to you where he is geographically. And then tier 3, Lachlan, Brock, Mendez, Matthews. Then tier 4 we'll say is Carlson, Composto, Jack, Cornella. I think that's my crew.
Oh.
An interesting guy here in this is Josh Edmond, though. Let me be the first to say. Before
Mizzou
Ben,
hater Christian Powell's brought up Josh Edmond.
I brought it up because I'm the #1 Mizzou fan. So yeah, I think he's someone to watch because he was out of the mix last year. He's got a lot of ability. He was not great last year. But he lost to Jacob Frost. All right, forget I said
that was not good.
I tried, Tigers, and then we got a Jacob Frost loss. A Frost loss.
And so I would not put Edmond in here yet. I think he has the possibility of getting in there, but for me, he's got to show consistency. And like that freshman year, he
now
was
Ben wants to talk consistency.
So I'm not putting him in the top 3 tiers yet.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. We should go to questions. I don't want to do another tier.
What? We're not doing 49?
No.
Oh man, don't be salty.
We got nothing but time. I'm just gonna keep saying that till the season starts and we're at 165.
We're gonna get to we're gonna probably get to 174 before the season starts.
That's the goal.